They are asking to speak through me. I am nervous.
We are the Order of the Magdalenes. We know what true healing and power is. Power that unites instead of divides. Mary Magdalene taught how to be in your own power. It is in uniqueness that unity comes to fruition. Ignite the fire within yourself. What shadows dance upon your inner walls? Many healings have taken place in this cave. It would have been considered spells, witchcraft, something to be dismissed and very feared. There was not a long time that we had with Mary Magdalene, and when she was here, we soaked up every drop of beautiful energy that spilled over from her being. This transmission is one of light. We share our hearth fire with you. Hello, my name is Eluña. I am an Akashic channeler and a psycho-spiritual healer and teacher, and this is a very exciting video to release. This is a channeling experience that came through while I was in Delphi, Greece. So I would like to tell briefly the story of why and how I ended up in Delphi, so that you can have a little bit of context to this channeling. Before I went to Egypt in September and October of this year, my guides informed me that it would be beneficial for me to go to Delphi, to the temple space of Delphi, after completing the initiation journey through Egypt. So they explained that I would be bringing dragon energy with me because it was very activated when I was in Egypt, and I would be bringing that with me to then reactivate the oracle, the temple of Delphi, and where the oracles of Delphi used to be. So I was once an oracle of Delphi, which I didn't know until later, until after I had already done that journey. And they actually gave me the directions for activating the dragon ley line there through water dowsing. It was a whole process, and I will actually, I can't believe I'm going to admit this, but I will just say that when I went to Delphi, the temple itself was actually closed. So I may or may not have snuck into the Temple of Delphi to complete this mission because my guides informed me that it was very, again, beneficial. I won't use the word necessary because they don't pressure me in that sort of way, but it was highly beneficial because of the energy that I was carrying from Egypt and with the dragons to douse the dragon ley line at Delphi. And so I had to make a decision. Am I going to trespass in this sacred site and complete this mission, or am I going to leave? And I tuned in and I really calmed myself, and I felt into the possibility of completing this mission with ease and without having anything negative happen in terms of the police coming or being fined for trespassing or anything like that. And I was able to complete it. And just like when I was at Philae Temple completing my mission for the very first time that I was in Egypt with Isis, I had to move very swiftly. So perhaps that is something that the divine uses me for. They know that I'm very efficient, and so maybe that's why I was chosen to complete this, and I'm okay with a little bit of risk. So that is what I did when I went to this temple. And in the evening, I was called to going to a cave that sits far up on the mountainside above Delphi. There is actually an underground tunnel and whole cavern system that moves through the mountain as well as underneath the temples that connect the temples to each other. So there is the Apollo temple, and then there is the Temple of Delphi. And both of those temples are connected through underground caverns and connected to this other cave that I was called to. So getting to this cave is a bit of a journey. You have to drive out quite a ways, kind of into the middle of nowhere up on this mountain. And then you have to hike up maybe an hour or so up into the mountain. And it was, like I said, it was in the middle of the night, and it was very, very cold and very windy that evening. The stars, though, wow. The stars were amazing. I could see the Milky Way. It was absolutely beautiful. So even though it was very crisp and cold, it made for a very clear night. So when I finally reached the top of this hill, I knew that I was approaching the entrance to the cave. The energy shifted, and I could feel there was a moment when I was called to pause, and the guidance said, this is the space to ask for permission before you enter. Even though I couldn't see the entrance to the cave yet, it was about entering onto the land that is sacred. So I paused and I offered my blessings and my prayers, and I asked for permission, and then I continued up, and essentially in the next, just around this other little curve, there appeared these stairs. So I knew that I had reached what appeared to be the opening to this entrance to the cave. So I climbed the stairs, and as I rounded this other corner, there were some bushes, and I rounded the corner, and standing in front of me was a massive boulder in a very specific shape. And then the entrance to the cave was behind the boulder. And immediately, I had a flashback to a dream that I had had while I was in Egypt during the September and October initiation that I led. And I will say this is, at least consciously, this is the only time I have had a dream like this that I can remember. I approached the entrance to this exact cave in my dream. I did not know what cave it was at the time. I approached the entrance to this cave, and standing outside was Hathor. And Hathor telepathically spoke to me and expressed that she wanted to invite me inside to sit at a fire with her and Mary Magdalene, and that they were going to share teachings with me and share stories with me. So, and also share information about my own path and kind of the way to develop myself in essence. So Hathor invited me in, and basically right at the entrance, Mary Magdalene was sitting with a small fire in front of her. Hathor sat to her left, and I sat on the other side of the fire, and we went into sharing. They shared a lot with me, and there's a lot that came through in that dream. And what was astounding was that cave was a real cave. I didn't know that at the time when I was in the dream, but it was this cave that I was now standing outside of, and that dream came back to me. I hadn't even remembered that I had had that dream until I was standing outside of the entrance to this cave. And so I immediately felt a very deep sense of purpose and meaning to, and really destiny, I will say, to the fact that I had chosen to come to this cave. There really was there were no direct words of, you should go to this cave. It was my own intuition of feeling like I should go visit this cave that had brought me there. And it was just quite amazing that all of this was connected when it was just a very soft intuition to go, not direct guidance from my guides as they speak to me. So when I approached the entrance to this cave, I once again asked for permission, and there was a being that came through named Clara, who was a Magdalene, and she explained to me that she is the steward of that energetic space. And so she holds that cave and has been kind of tending to the energy for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. I actually am not sure how long she has been there. It's been a very, very long time. I suppose it has been thousands of years. And when I went into that cave, some beautiful being, a human, maybe many humans, had constructed a spiral labyrinth walk that led to the middle, and in the middle was a beautiful altar with pomegranates and cedar and many other sacred plants, and offerings had been made there, which really just elaborated even more how sacred of a space that was, that even humans who came to visit this cave honored it and were holding that sacred energy. They were not vandalizing the cave. There was not garbage in the cave. It was held in a very pure way. And so then when I sat down, I really didn't know what to expect. And I suppose I laugh a little because maybe I should have expected this, but I didn't. What ended up happening is a group who said that they were a group of Magdalenes spoke through me. And they shared this message that they wanted many people to hear. I actually thought I was going to be recording something for my membership, but they said, no, this is for everyone to receive. So I am here delivering their message and sharing the story of what led to me even being in that cave in the first place. So I would love to know how this lands for you and the energy that you yourself feel as they are speaking. It was a very, very, very special experience for me, and I really feel deeply honored to have even been able to commune with Magdalene energy. It's very deep in my heart, this channeling and this transmission. So I would love to know what you think of it and how it lands for you. And I will see you on the other side.
We are the order of the Magdalens. We know what true healing and power is, but not from the human perspective of power. Power from within. Power that unites instead of divides, as is too present on the planet at this time. Humans are still learning what it means to come into power that brings together rather than pushes apart. Mary Magdalene taught how to be in your own power so as never to feel threatened nor have a reason to threaten another. This was the primary focus for us. This is the primary teaching we wish to impart at this time. There are many, but humans are in a time of needing to understand their power. Power is energy. The way that one utilizes and caretakes for their own energy determines the power that emanates from them, the power that they are able to wield. And those who yield or give away their power are also predestined by this caretaking or lack thereof with their own energy. Many are in need of support and learning how to caretake for their energy, what it means to show up fully with one's heart, with one's full being, without being afraid of what might come back to you, what might be reflected to you or cast upon you in a projection from another. Uniqueness. This is the true power. This is the true energy, and one of the ultimate paradoxes of human life. It is in uniqueness that unity comes to fruition. Uniqueness is one's energy. How do you cultivate and allow your true self to come through? How do you allow your unique energetic code or blueprint to leave a mark upon the earth, upon another's heart? This is energy. This is power. This is the path to unity. And on the way, why not walk the path of beauty, the path of peace, inviting others to do the same? Humans are still learning the wisdom of slow and steady. Slow and steady allows for peace and contemplation, even if a misstep happens. You are able to right yourself quite easily when moving slowly. When moving quickly, you miss what is around you. When you misstep, you easily fall. If you feel rushed, this is a giving away of your power. You are not allowing your unique expression to come through in its own time. Trust your process of blooming, of becoming. Trust the opening of your own unique flower in its time, without a rush, without a force. Flowers open each and every year. Each and every spring they bloom. No effort, just by being. Your unique energy comes through by being. Can you slow and steady yourself and rest ever further back, relaxing into your heart, relaxing into the physical space and the energetic space behind you, allowing your energy to come through effortlessly. This is when the world feels light. When you lean back, relaxed, the world feels at ease because you are at ease. You determine your experience of the world. And although many understand that concept at this time, few embody it and choose to create their experience by choosing their perspective. If your experience is created by your perspective, and if through your experience your unique blueprint comes through, which is ultimately your power, as we have said, then is it not true that choosing your perspective is choosing your power? This is a sovereign choice that each must come to. The world around you does not determine your perspective. The world within you determines your perspective. Just as one who has only lived in a cave has a limited understanding of the world outside of them, so too does one who has only experienced the world outside of them have a limited understanding of the true world within them. Allow your eyes to turn inward. Allow your seeking to point downward into your depths, into your own cave. What emerges from the nothing within you? You will begin to discover your unique blueprint, your power, your unique expression and imprint that is meant to be left upon this planet, softly, not as a scar, but as a sign and a way to inspire others, to give permission to others to do the same. And through unique expression, there is unity. But all must be in their power for unity to be achieved. Therefore, all must be expressing fully their unique self for unity to be achieved. Ignite the fire within yourself. What shadows dance upon your inner walls? Has this captured your attention? Have you lost sight of the light itself? Only paying attention, only giving your energy to the shadows upon the wall. Whether this wall is your inner cave or the way that you experience darkness in this world, notice where you direct the most amount of your attention and energy. Where is your unique blueprint? Have you found it? Are you curious about your energetic code? You will only discover it with this joy in your heart for simply being alive, and curiosity drawing you closer with wonder at the mystery of everything that surrounds you. Can you welcome this energy in? Can you cultivate this energy? There is a question about healing. We digress. A question about the laying on of hands. There was a laying on of hands when necessary, but our primary healing form was using energy, and therefore our hands were not required to touch the body. More dramatic results were experienced the closer the body was to the hands, but it was not necessary to be in the same room. Mostly a comfort, as well as a measure of safety, as this type of healing was not allowed. It would have been considered spells, witchcraft, something to be dismissed and very feared. So this was hidden, and many healings have taken place in this cave. There was not a long time that we had with Mary Magdalene in this cave. It was during a time of transition that she passed through. We were familiar, as most were, those who still had the ancient awakenings within them, as well as the yearning for something more, had heard of Mary Magdalene. And so many of us were prepared when she came here, doing all we could to study, to remember. And when she was here, we soaked up every ounce that we could. Every drop of beautiful energy that spilled over from her being, we drank in as nectar, knowing that it would lead us to a deeper truth of ourself and a deeper possibility to serve the collective, to restore what was lost, to restore the old ways that were being attempted to be disposed of, that many were trying to force out of the collective memory. But we did hold on to these memories. Many were restored, woven back in to the ancient memory of humanity. And this thread has once again been pulled on. And here we are, returning to this time and space to offer our rememberings. This transmission is one of light codes. The words expressed bear little to no importance. It is the transmission and frequency that comes through, and your openness to receive that determines the potency of this message for you. We were requested, invited to come here by Mary Magdalene, and that is why we have come. That is why we have offered this transmission of light codes to you. We send our sincere love, our hope for peace in the hearts of each being to bloom again, like the wildflowers that cover this mountainside each and every season. We share our hearth fire with you, with love. My energy stays with me. Your energy stays with you.
Thank you all so much for watching this transmission. I just wanted to come on here quickly to make a couple of announcements that are very exciting. At the beginning of January, you have the opportunity to be live with me in person in Sedona, Arizona. I will be a presenter at the Channel Panel Dawn of Disclosure event taking place from January 3rd to the 5th. I am holding a private workshop there that you can attend, as well as doing a live Q&A channeling with the audience. I would love to see you there. The next time that you could see me in person, if you would like to come to Egypt, the registration is now available for my next journey. It is called Return to the Mother. It is very deep and near to my heart, and if you would like to know more about that, I encourage you to go to my website, and you can always reach out to my support team, support@eluñanoel.com, if you have any questions about that. Sending you all my love. May you remember your magic today. This next journey that you are going to learn about, I have titled Return to the Mother. That is the theme for this journey, and I am really learning more and more why my guides gave me this title. Currently, the Earth's Kundalini is located in Peru and part of Chile. It is in the mountains in that area. It moved through Colombia before settling into this region. The place that it was previously was Tibet and Nepal and India. And so we can see in our history that much of our spiritual knowledge and many teachers have come from the Far East. That is where so much of our current spiritual practices are based on. And in the last 12 years, we have seen a big shift toward indigenous medicine, toward plant medicine, and that is because the Kundalini energy of the planet has shifted to being in Peru and Chile, as well as Colombia. Egypt itself is an energy of the father, so that is concerned with the male or masculine intellect, the mind. Peru is the mother, it is the heart. So when I very first went to Egypt, all of these esoteric teachings from that time and place opened up to me, and have been coming through me since that time, and I incorporate them in various ceremonies and practices that I hold with people, as well as workshops. I have come to understand since my last journey to Egypt that it is time to bring in the energy of the mother. And so that means joining the heart and the mind, the feminine and the masculine, the mother and the father, within us and within the planet together. And so one of the ways that has come through that I am able to do this is to bring traditional and shamanic medicines that come from Peru and from South America as a whole to Egypt. So this journey is very different from the first journey because it is an activation and a joining, a divine union of the mother heart and the father mind. So that means that I am actually including other facilitators to come work with me who have been initiated through shamanic practices. They are going to be holding shamanic ice ceremonies. So that is when you immerse yourself in an ice bath. We are also going to be facilitating a shamanic sweat lodge. The tradition of that coming out of Mexico, and it's called a temescal. We are also going to be working with a variety of other medicines, such as cacao and others, to bring the energy of the mother and to awaken our heart, awaken our body in a balanced tandem with our mind. And that is all going to be held in the beautiful energy of Egypt, which has held so many initiations over eons of time. And so we are going to be very supported. Each temple that we move through is a different space in the body, and it is also a different aspect of ego or of the heart or of the mind. And so I have curated this journey so that each ceremony that we hold, whether it is an ice ceremony, a breathwork ceremony, a temescal ceremony, etc., they are aligned with the temples that we are going to. So this is how I am understanding at this time that I am able to bridge the masculine father mind with the feminine mother heart. So this journey is, again, very different than the first one because it has a different purpose. So you are still going to experience many activations, and we are still going to hold a lot of different ceremonies and meditations, but it has a completely different mission than the first two journeys that I held in Egypt. So I just wanted to come on and explain a little bit about what you can expect. This journey will be 18 days long. It will start on the arrival day is May 7th, and then departure day is May 24th. I welcome you to reach out with any questions that you may have to my support team. They are very, very helpful, and they will always come to me if they themselves don't know the answer. But I know that this is the time in our history to be bridging these two energies. We all know that the masculine energy is out of balance, and part of how we bring it into balance is by joining the two together. And that starts within. That starts within our own self. And so joining the mother heart with the father mind is what this is about. It is a return to the mother in the fatherland. I would be honored to walk beside you on this path. And I would love to touch those ancient walls with you, hand in hand. Sending you my love.